Good afternoon, children. How are you today? Let's start our today's lesson. The theme of our today's lesson is Unit 5, Entertainment and Media, Writing Biographies. In today's lesson, we'll read a model text for explanation, write a biography of a person, use comparative and superlative forms and time expressions. Now, let's watch this video for explanation. Now, let's complete this association. What is biography? Good job. Now, let's see. You should write in your biography name of a person, birth information, education, occupation and job, how is famous today, personal information, facts, likes and dislikes, and the important events. Now, let's learn some new words. Repeat after me. Anonymously. Sense, sensibility, pride, prejudice, versions. Now, write down these words into your vocabularies. Now let's read a model text. It is Jane Austen's biography. Pay attention to the time expressions in the text. Jane Austen was a British writer. She was born in England in 1775. She lived in England for her whole life. She died on the 18th of July in 1817. By the age of 16, Jane Austen was writing stories, poems, and plays. She finished her first novel in 1795 and her second novel a year later. However, her father couldn't find a publisher. Her life changed in 1811 when she found a publisher for her first book. She published the book anonymously under the name A Lady. In total, she wrote 6 novels. She is most famous for the books Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. Her novels were funnier and more realistic than other novels for the time. Now, students at school and university study her novels, and there are about 50 different film and TV versions of her stories. There are also 2 Jane Austen museums in England. Now, open your books, page 71, exercise 1. Read the model text again, then match headings 1 to 5 with paragraphs A to D. There is one heading that you don't need. Now, if you have finished, let's check how Jane Austen started writing. Yes, it's paragraph B. The second, Jane Austen's style of writing and her most famous books. Quite right, it's paragraph C. Jane Austen's likes and dislikes. Yes, you are right, it is not given. The fourth, how Jane Austen is still famous today. It is given in paragraph D. Very good. And the last is a summary of Jane Austen's life. You are right, it's paragraph A. Very good. Now, let's do exercise 2, page 71. Study the model text and find the time expressions in blue. Match 1 to 6 with A to F. Now, let's check. She was born in 1775. She lived England for her whole life. By the age of 16, a year later, she finished her second novel. Now, she died on the 18th of July. Now the students study her novels. Very well. Good job. Now, let's find mistakes in the sentences. You'll have some time. If you have finished, let's check. She was born in Oslo. A year later, he got married. She lived in Paris for 5 years. By the age of 20, he was studying at university. She died in 1824. Very well. Now, at least, the task activate. In this task, you should follow the steps in the writing guide and write a biography. Point A. The task was given, write a biography. Point B. Think and plan. You should answer the questions in your biography. Where and when was he born? Where did he grow up? When did he die? Where did he study? What did he do as a job? What is his most famous character? How many books did he write? Why were the books successful? In point C, you should write, and your biography should consist of 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, summary of life. Paragraph 2, education and work. Paragraph 3, most famous for. Paragraph 4, how he is famous today. And point D, check. In your biography, you should write comparative and superlative adjectives and use time expressions correctly. Now, let's summarize. You should self-assessment yourselves. Now, you can write a biography of a person. You can use comparative and superlative forms of adjectives, and you can use time expressions correctly in your sentences. Thank you for your attention. Our lesson is over. Goodbye.